Hey y'all, welcome. My name's Paul Menifee. I'm the VP of Recruitment for PTK. And we're excited you're here watching these. And basically this week, we're just doing what we're calling our Awareness Week. And some of you may not even know what we're all about, what PTK is. So I'll just start from the basics. PTK stands for Phi Theta Kappa, which is a national and international wide honor society for students in community colleges. And schools actually each have their own chapters of Phi Theta Kappa or Phi Theta Kappa, and they're the one at MCC is called Beta Phi Theta. So what we're doing this week is we're going through a short series of 30-minute webinars where I'll be leading conversations with different officers of different departments within PTK at our chapter. And we're going to be talking about the 4 foundational pillars that Phi Theta Kappa is built on, what those core values are, what those beliefs are, and what we're trying to do through Phi Theta Kappa. And each day of the week will be a different one of those pillars. But today, we're going to be giving you a brief overview and history of what PTK is, what it is, what it has been, what it's now, and why it's worth your time to be a part of. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to PTK Chapter President, Angie Fitzgerald.
Hi everyone. Thanks, Paul, for having me. Greek is really hard. It's actually pronounced Phi Theta Kappa, and our chapter is called Beta Pi Beta. And I still mess it up. Greek is crazy. So a little bit about me. I'm a non-traditional college student. This is my second go at my degree as a mom and a wife, and it's crazier this time around, but it's fun. I'm a criminal justice major, and I plan on heading to law school. So I fell in love with PTK last year due to the real world tools it offers its members. PTK was established over 100 years ago. Some of you might know that. It started in Missouri, and it was originally just for 2-year colleges for women. And over time, they just grew really big, and now everyone is welcome. So it very quickly became recognized by the American Association of Community Colleges as the official National Honor Society for junior colleges. And it's the only honor society that holds that distinction today. At the time, it wasn't called the American Association of Community Colleges, but it is now. So PTK is a registered nonprofit. It helps its members reach their full potential by designing this really cool, unique programming around our 4 important pillars that Paul mentioned, which is leadership, scholarship, fellowship, and service. And PTK is just a wonderful place to get your education paid for and grow as a person.
Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. So thank you for that, Angie. So today we're kind of going to be going through a little just question and answer between Angie and I. I remember when I was joining, I had a lot of questions and I wanted to meet with someone specifically. So we're going to kind of talk through some of those and what those are. If you were like me, when you first got your email asking you to join, you might have thought it sounded a little bit like a scam because you were saying, hey, we think you're great, you should join and pay us money. And so I understand that because I felt the same way. So Angie, if you could give us a little insight, how are people actually selected and how are they contacted by PTK?
Yeah, I actually thought it was a scam too. I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, an MLM scam or I don't know, something like that, some pyramid scheme. But students are actually invited to join once they've completed about 12 hours of coursework and have a GPA of 3.5 or over. So they'll be sent an email and a postcard. Some students only receive one or the other, but we try to send out both. There is a one-time fee to cover like the cost of programming, but that's it. There's no annual dues, there's no hidden fees, there's no contract. And I believe we're actually entering students to win free memberships this time, right, Paul?
Yes, we are. Yeah, so actually everyone who's attending today will be entered into a drawing for actually a gift card, but then anyone who attends any of the webinars this whole week is going to be entered into a drawing to win a free membership into PTK. And then if through this week you find you really are interested in PTK and see the benefits of how it can help you in your future, if you apply by the end of the day, Saturday, we're going to do another drawing, and 4 or 5 more people will be selected for actually a free membership, or the waiver for their membership as well. So yeah, so it's not a scam. The school sends a message to us when people have a good GPA and they've done at least 12 credit hours. So don't worry. Next question. How do you see PTK seeking to build up their members? What are some of the, what are the areas they're trying to build people that are part of PTK, and why are those areas important?
Well, it's kind of a long answer, but I'm going to be as brief as I can. So PTK knows that to grow as leaders, we need to serve our community. We need to build relationships with one another, and we need the funding to get the education to be the best that we can be. So they do this by designing their programming around those 4 pillars that we talked about: scholarships, fellowship, leadership, and service. So they do this by offering 2 annual projects. Some of you may have heard of that. It's a great way to develop leadership and research skills that are applicable anywhere you'll go from here. Those 2 projects are the Honors in Action and the College Project. The first one is primarily a research-based project. It does have a community service component to it. And the second one is centered around college administration and staff, where we get together with them and say, hey, do you have a problem? We want to work together to try to solve this. And so you build a lot of really great relationships when you're doing that and serve the community. They also offer 4 distinct online courses called the EDGE programs. They're totally free. They're available for life. You can work at your own pace. They're all online. As well as a nationally recognized leadership development course, which I'm currently in right now, and it's fantastic. So the EDGEs cover topics like transferring to a university, employment, research, professionalism. So everything that you learn there is really going to help you develop as a person in all those different areas moving forward. And everything we do as a chapter as well is built around those 4 pillars. So any project or initiative that you guys might see on MyHub or at the college, we're working around that programming as well.
That's great. Yeah, and another question a lot might see is, I mean, I remember as I've been working through college and things like that, a lot of things you have to think about are, how are things going to build up your resume? How can you put them on your resume? Because sometimes you do things, you're like, do I want to put that I went and picked up trash? I don't know. And so, so how do you see PTK being a way of benefiting someone's resume or the job search or seeking grad school?
Well, it's another long one, so pardon me if I'm a little windy, but I really love the EDGE programs because it does do that. It breaks down all of those important professionalism skills that most college students, particularly 2-year college students, don't really have. And it gives you an edge above the next person. You know, you have all these resume writing skills and how to use LinkedIn to your advantage and proper email etiquette and all these other things in combination with the things that you're doing project-wise and with the community that you can really transfer to any profession you're going to go into. So I like to think of my resume building as in bullet points. What are those things that you can pop on there that managers or those that have been in management can really see? So I like to say, you know, public speaking, project management, research, writing, event planning. I mean, there's so much more that you could, you know, form this into real life application. And the EDGE programs really break down transferring to a university really well. They break down FAFSA and how to communicate with them and looking at all the different programs, and using the PTK Connect function, you're able to connect with other colleges and see black and white what those scholarship opportunities are for all over the nation. So it's really just a great portal to get going.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think it's a really incredible way, if as you spend time throughout this week hearing from different officers, I mean, even if you're able to put PTK as an honors society that you've gained in college, you can put down, if you become an officer, if you lead in that, different service projects you helped put together, like all of those can build up a ton. And a lot of times it seems weird to think that can help, but it helps a ton because it just shows that you can take on responsibility and really just lead others as well. So no, I think that's great. You mentioned a little bit about transferring into a university. What opportunities does PTK have to help community college students do that? And what resources do they have to help you do that?
So PTK really helps you with, again, that connect function of finding a university. PTK also offers a ton of virtual transfer fairs. So maybe PT or MCC doesn't necessarily have a connection to a college in Oregon, but PTK does, and it's all online. That's really helpful. And with finding, what universities take PTK students, what their scholarships look like, that's wonderful. But particularly with service and with leadership positions such as an officership like you and I have here at the regional level or at the college level, there's also regional and international leadership opportunities as well. And those really help you plug in experiences inside those, college applications when they're asking you about different things that you've done or experiences that you've gained. You do that here at 2U universities, and if you don't get involved, you're not going to have that information to put down on those college applications. And that's what really makes you stand out from other people.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think earlier when you were talking as well, you talked about how PTK helped financially, which we'll talk about later this week as well. But some of the scholarships that I've looked into are incredible that PTK opens up. I remember talking to a lot of my friends, a lot of them going to community college, to talk about how they realize later on they want to go somewhere else and they don't know if they can do it. But even just scrolling through some of the scholarships that PTK helps with, for example, if you wanted to go to Georgetown in Washington, D.C., Georgetown accepts PTK as an honor society. And so if you were a PTK member and you wanted to transfer there and get accepted, they give 2 PTK students that get accepted in every year 50% off tuition. And so not only does it teach you leadership and open opportunities like that, but it gives you a ton of financial benefits as well.
Absolutely. And you get a lot of recognition as well. When you graduate from here with your 2-year degree or certificate, you'll get that pretty golden seal stamped on your diploma. You'll get to graduate with a bright yellow stole, lots of recognition. So it's a big thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I was going to transition out of school as much, but looking into, you already talked a lot about leadership type things, but are there other ways that PTK helps officer members or just anyone a part of it with job training and professional development as beyond just those classes as well? Or how do you see PTK doing that?
What I see the most is that PTK is a wonderful place for networking. And I think that really can't be understated in any profession that you're going to go into. When you form relationships with these people in leadership at your college level and beyond, you're setting yourself up to get a job down the road. Because later down the road, Paul might say, you know what, I need a barista and I'm going to call Angie. I'm using that for your job right now, but down the road, that's, something that could really happen. And I think that's really important. I think that the connections that you form with administrators are also really wonderful because they can, in the future, write really wonderful recommendation letters for you. And that is so hard for someone going into a 4-year university or going into the employment world. Particularly if you haven't had a job in that field before, who do you get to vouch for you? And that's where it is right here in PTK.
Yeah, no, I will definitely probably someday need a lawyer. Take the hell you will. So
he needs a lawyer. Yeah.
No, that's great. Another thing I want to talk about, a lot of people Metro uses it quite a bit, but a lot of students might not have used it very much yet. We use MyHub a lot. And it's a really good area to go, or a site to go and see events and get connected. Can you talk a little bit on just a brief overview of MyHub?
Sure. So MyHub, like you stated, is an online platform that we use to post our events, where you can have like the date and the time and the description of it. You can accept, decline, RSVP. We also do extensive news articles about what's going on in our chapter with our members. Any initiatives that we're planning is great. And we also do a lot of educational stuff through our MyHub as well. So last term, we had quite a few news articles about just improving your workspace, which was a big thing because we were all, working and living in the same little space, and keeping it tidy is tough. So we had a lot of fun stuff for students to just build their practical life skills on there. So it's a great place to log in, find out what's going on, and attend all of our events. So all of our events from here on out are on there. You just click on the link and join with Zoom. So it's a great place.
Awesome. And then final thing, our PTK chapter is very active and very connected. We do a lot of things together. You heard that one of the pillars is fellowship, and we spend a lot of time growing that. But just recently, like a month ago, we had an award ceremony for all of PTK across the US and world, correct? Yeah, internationally. Mm-hmm. Yep. And we did pretty well. Do you want to talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, the list of awards that this chapter won is so extensive. I don't even remember them all. I don't have them in front of me, but we won so many awards. And the top two that I really am impressed with were the most improved chapter. We went from not really having a lot of activity to 2020, and it just like exploded. We've had a ton of people get involved. We've been able to submit our projects. We've really gone above and beyond for that, and we finally got recognition, and that's wonderful. But our advisors actually won awards. Lindsay and Tiffany both won awards, and the advisor team. So they're separate awards, but it was really wonderful to see all of their hard work be recognized regionally and internationally, and I was really impressed with that. So it's an award-winning chapter.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's really cool too, hearing from the Metro side and then talking to people from other PTKs and hearing how much more Metro gets involved with each other, how much more it seems that we support each other than a lot of other chapters. Because I know with any honor society, there's chapters who do a lot and chapters who you just do it to get on your resume. But here we really seek to build you up and give you opportunities. So that's pretty cool.
I agree.
One more question. So if someone's really interested and they want more information beyond just these webinars, who are some specific people they should contact if they want to know more?
Well, you can contact any of us directly on our MyHub page. We have our Phi Theta Kappa page, and all of our officers are listed. But the best place to get the quickest response would be, and I'm sure Jay will pop it in the chat, is our advisors email. This goes to all 4 advisors that run PTK. And so they're all watching it all the time. So someone's going to respond to you pretty quickly. And even if you have a question about, you need help with MCC specific things, feel free to message them and they'll direct you where you need to go.
Yeah. Well, thanks. That was a lot of good info. And yeah, I'd love to open up the floor for some Q&A. I know we have a couple questions. Our chapter's VP, Jay Fitcham, is watching the Q&A and chat for y'all. And so I think she'll let me know if I have some questions, but I also can see the ones in the Q&A themselves.
I have one question, Paul.
Yeah, perfect.
When employers see PTK on your resume, what does that tell them?
Angie, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, it was directed to you, but yeah, I'll do it. Oh. I would say what they see is somebody that spends a lot of time getting good grades. That's important. Trying hard, going above and beyond, but really caring about their community and getting involved, I think is an important quality. As a former manager, I think that was something that made me see the character of that future employee a little bit clearer. You want to see somebody that wants to help other people, that shows up on time, that tries hard, that's always learning, always growing as a person outside of work. And I think that is a big deal. And I think, leading into that, getting those recommendation letters from your advisors is a wonderful thing to have. So, you have the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society thing, and you have a great resume or reference letter. That's a good start to a job.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. As one who hires people. When a lot of time, especially managing a cafe, you don't always know what people's backgrounds are coming in and what kind of people are going to apply. And so the few times there have been people with PTK on their resume, it just shows that, well, if they can seek to attain high grades and continue them throughout their program, then that's probably a good sign that they will probably not be seeking to just throw away their job as well. They probably have a purpose for it. So no, I completely agree with that. I don't see any other, there's a connection thing. I don't see any other questions. If you do, you can always shoot them to us separately as well. But as I said earlier, anyone who attends today's webinar, we get a list of that. So you'll be entered into a drawing today. We actually have an archetype gift card of $20. That's great. And then you'll also be entered into the end of the week drawing for a free membership, along with anyone else who attends any of the sessions throughout the week. Again, don't forget to apply though. And if you do apply by the end of the day, Saturday, for PTK, you'll also be put in another drawing for 5 more people getting a free membership. And then at the end of the week, there's also another drawing with everyone who attended for another archetype gift card and a Starbucks gift card as well. Just as a way to say thank you. And they're just from companies around town, you know, after COVID, get you back in and get you studying. So there's a place to study. So yeah, I think that's all I have. Angie, do you have any final words you want to say?
I just wanted to point out that if you are applying, that acceptance email and postcard have a code for you to activate your membership. And if you've waited too long and that code is not working, feel free to reach out to an advisor here at PTK and they'll help you out on where to go from there. That's it.
Perfect.
Angie, I have another question.
Sure.
Prototyping field. How can PTK help in that field?
Oh, well, I'm not exactly sure I understand what prototyping is. Paul, can you help me out on that one?
Well, I guess I'm guessing they're talking about like prototypes, like creating prototypes, like if you're creating a car or something, like a pre-car or whatever. But it depends on, I guess, what fields. But I mean, I guess it would be the same as kind of what we've been saying. If you want to go into like, if you want to make prototypes of rockets or cars or I don't know, any sort of gadget of any type, that would be, if this is where I'm guessing this, in my mind, prototyping.
Printing.
In 3D,
3D printing, yes.
Well, then, I mean, in that field specifically, I mean, it's not necessarily, PTK is not specifically like a job training. So like we wouldn't be training you how to do the specific job, but it would open up the opportunities and connections potentially to people to write references, get you support in areas of education at school or towards your 4-year career if you want to go in that way of schooling, to help you attain a job where you would be doing that. But specifically in prototyping, I don't know that we have a course or something that specifically does that.
No, but I would like to elaborate that a little bit. PTK is not just for somebody that's going into further their education and go all the way to doctorate. PTK is really applicable to every single career or profession that you want to do. If you're just getting a certificate in trade school or you're going all the way to your doctorate, it's there for you. It's going to help you. These courses that are offered through the EDGE programming is really going to set you apart from the next person that's applying for that prototyping job or whatever it's going to be. You need to stand out in a competitive market, and this is where you can do it. You're going to learn professionalism skills that's going to help you from here on out. Lots of people going into 2-year universities don't know how to write a coherent email or deal with a difficult conversation in the professional world. This is where you can learn that stuff. To transferring to university is complicated. You have the financial aspect of it, of getting your records over there, on top of all the emotional things that you're going through with your personal life, leaving home for the first time, or trying to go to university, as a parent is complicated. So PTK can really offer you those tools to help you figure out how to do it, all at your own pace, all online. It's ready for you for life. At any point, if you're like, this isn't going to work out, I need to take a break, it's fine. You have those skills and that access forever, and it can save you money. So you want to go to college, but you need a discount on car insurance, That's another membership benefit. I'm sure more of our VPs will get into that later this week, but there's so much that can help you in that aspect.
Angie, another question. What's the process of becoming an officer?
Okay, that's a good question. So our term runs from January to January. So at the end of this term, around December, we will have a voting period where on MyHub we'll say, hey, elections are coming up, and then we'll have a detailed descriptions available for every position. You apply, you fill out a short application, the advisors read it, and then you campaign. So we did, because we were virtual this year, we did a video series. You can see some of those videos on our YouTube channel as well. And we talked about why we would be good for the job. You know, you really get a chance to literally campaign as you would for any other leadership position, you know, in politics or something like that. And then people vote for you. And that's how it goes. So it's fun. It's a really good learning experience. I think it's personally really hard to start advocating for yourself, but I think that's a really important skill to have as a leader and as a future employee. You need to be able to write that resume and say, I'm amazing because bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. So it's a fun thing. And again, it's all on MyHub.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all the questions right there. Yeah, well, thanks everyone for attending. Angie, thanks for being here and sharing your wisdom and your future law abilities for us all. And Jay, thanks for helping with chat and watching that for us. So yeah, if you want to learn more about scholarships, we're actually going to be talking about that tomorrow. And it'll be on here with our VP of scholarships at 3 p.m. I should know that. Yep, 3 p.m. And so, no, day 2. It's 2 p.m. 2 p.m. We got that. Okay. But yeah, come back tomorrow if you want to learn more about scholarships, and we'll have a couple more throughout the week, going through the other pillars and why those areas are strong for building you up. And as we said, we want to respect your time and keep these at 30 minutes or less, and we're literally exactly like at that, so that's great. If you want to rewatch this or hear any more of that info, this will be posted to our YouTube page, which you can also access through our MyHub. Thanks for joining, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.